Let's clean my bathroom while I'll tell you all the story of the most embarrassing day of my life. The day that made me want to lose all the way. I never want to go back to feeling the way I felt that day. A year ago, we went with some friends from church to an amusement park. It was six families, and most of it was just the moms and the kids. They have go karts, they have water rides, they have all kinds of stuff. So I have my son, he was 12, and my little one was 4. So a lot of the things I couldn't get in because I have the 4-year-old. So my 4-year-old wanted to go on the go karts. Of course, the go karts are not made for a 300-pound person. I kept telling my 4-year-old that we couldn't get in it, and he couldn't understand why all of the other moms were getting in the go karts with the kids. So I decided, okay, I'm just gonna go get in it and hoping that I can fit. Like I say, it was six moms, one dad, and a bunch of kids. And we are sitting in the front car, me and my 4-year-old. They make sure that everybody's buckled because it's like a race car type of thing. So you have to be buckled in. When I try to buckle myself in, I just couldn't. It was too small. My legs had to be like wide open. I was like snug inside of the car, but I was fine. I was like, nobody's gonna see that I can't fit in this thing. In my mind, because of course everybody could see. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm fine as long as this thing buckles. But then when I realized it didn't buckle, it was so embarrassing. The person that was helping the worker came back to the front of the line and asked me, oh, do you need an extension? I didn't even look back, but I can feel everybody looking at me. And people maybe didn't even care, but to me, I felt so embarrassed. I felt like everybody could see how big it was. And I knew I was big. I knew everybody knew I was big. But not being able to buckle in the thing, not being able to fit in the go kart, made it more real. I always say that I was very happy the way I was. That I was big, but I was happy. I had a husband that loved me, and I had 2 healthy kids, and that's all that mattered to me. But I really wasn't. I was sad. I was miserable. My body was always in pain. I was never happy. I was so depressed. The only reason why I got up every morning was because of my kids and my faith. And this day just brought it all down. I didn't want to cry in front of everybody, so I tried to hold it in. But the whole time we're going around and around, I can feel people looking at me. Like I say, it might just be in my head because I didn't look back. I didn't look at anybody. I didn't want to see anybody's faces. So I just kept riding around. But even the wheel would hit my stomach. So it was hard for me to do the turns and do all the things. And I remember every time I turned the wheel, I was so embarrassed. And I kept telling myself, why do you do this to yourself? Why do you do this to yourself? Why you make food so important that it's making your life miserable? And I thought, if I can just stop eating, if I can just like get sick, maybe I can lose weight. And at that second, I wished that I had a sickness that wouldn't go away until I was skinny, which sounds so stupid when I say it out loud. But when you're in that much pain and that much sadness, it made a lot of sense to me. Of course, knowing that I could barely fit in the car and the struggles that I was going to turning the wheel and the assistant going all the way to the back trying to get me an extension for my seat belt wasn't enough. When I tried to get out, I was stuck. Like my stomach and my legs, everything got stuck. My 4-year-old, being a 4-year-old, got out and he was like, come on, mama, everybody's getting out. And I'm like, 1 second. And he started laughing. He's like, no way, you're stuck. But he didn't mean it in a mean way. He was just being funny. And I was like, no, I'm not. And then one of the guys, the parent, came and he gave me his hand and he helped me. And I wanted everything to just open up. I wanted a big hole to open up in the middle of the ground and eat me alive. I was so embarrassed. And I wasn't embarrassed for me. I was embarrassed for my 12-year-old son because all of his cool friends were with us. And as a mom, you don't want anybody to ever mess with them or make them feel any way. And I felt like, oh my gosh, if they make fun of him because his mom got stuck in the go kart, or if they make fun of him because his mom's belly was hitting the wheel, or if they get, he gets bullied for any of those things. How selfish of me for not taking care of myself, and now my kids are gonna pay. Needless to say, no one said anything, and I didn't say anything to anyone. And my son never said anything to me. But I felt like it was my obligation to keep them safe. And not only safe from others, but safe from myself. And what was I doing to my own body? What if I woke up one day and had a heart attack? What would happen to my kids if I loved them so much? What would ever happen if I just died in my sleep? Because I couldn't stop eating, because I couldn't take control of my own life. We went out to eat that day and I didn't want to eat anything. I was so embarrassed for people to see me eat because I thought they were going to say, oh, look at her. She's 300 pounds and still stuff on her face. So I didn't want to eat anything. I told everybody, oh, I'm fine. I'm not that hungry. When we got home, I stuffed my face with everything I could find. I remember wanting to throw up and feeling like, no, you deserve to feel like this. You deserve to feel miserable. You don't deserve to be happy. You deserve nothing but misery. And if you have never felt that, it's a horrible feeling. Horrible, horrible feeling. The next day, I talked to my husband about it. And I told him, I said, I need you to help me. Because every time I start a diet, he will bring soda. So he will bring cake or chips. And I said, please help me until I get strong enough to say no. And he has. He doesn't bring anything to the house. He doesn't get mad if I don't want to go out to eat to McDonald's because he used to. He doesn't do it anymore. He asked me, you choose the place, we'll go out to eat anywhere you want to. He will never bring anything that he knows that I don't want to have. And now it has been almost a year since I started. And I can finally say that I have more control over what I eat. I can cook stuff for my kids and not have it for myself. And not because I think the food is bad, because eating one cookie is not what got me to be 300 pounds, but eating the whole pack is what it did it. So what I do now, I cook for them, and if I want to bite up the cookie, I just take it. And the next day, I just keep doing the same thing. And I have lost 90 pounds so far. I'm very proud and very happy for how far I have come. My kids were my inspiration to start this journey, but at this point, it's me that has kept me going, giving me a better life, giving me a happier life. And I thank every one of you for all the kind words that you say to me. That every time I receive a message of somebody saying, thank you, your journey has helped me start mine or keep going in mine. That reminds me that I'm making a difference in the world. Blessed day.